Boom. All right, guys. We are live. We are officially live here with a great guest. The best part about today, I think, is we're going to be talking about the hustle, right? We're going to be talking about the grind. And our buddy here, Andrew Feigenbaum, he was just at the job site, man.
Yeah, dude. I was hustling to get down here. So
yeah, man.
It's a crazy day, but got to make that money.
Yeah, right. So you were out in Highlands Ranch, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So you were out in Highland Ranch doing some work and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're kind of going to be talking about the story of how you kind of got into running this business, CreteJack. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit more about the business and stuff like that. But I do want to start out real quick by kind of giving a big shout out to our sponsors. And real quick, I'm going to give a quick audio check. Let's just make sure that the system's running good and stuff like that. If you guys are on, make sure you guys are saying hello, saying what's up. Perfect. Good to go there.
Yep.
All right, cool, guys. Well, first off, obviously, Job Nimbus, I've seen online a lot of you guys kind of adding that system into your processes for your company, helping track everything like that with the Job Nimbus CRM. If you guys are using that, give a holler. Let me know what you guys think. Write in the comments, how that's working for you guys, how you guys are using it, what the benefits are. And also a great guy, Josh Cotner, Josh Cotner with roofinginsurance.com.
That's my boy right there.
Oh, that's your boy right there?
Yep.
So
best insurance agent ever, dude.
Hey, if we want to talk about promoting somebody, right? Roofinginsurance.com. I'll put the link in there. Josh Cotner, he's a guy that watches all the time.
Yep.
You actually use him for the business CreteJack.
Absolutely, yeah.
You do,
I've used him from the get-go.
Yeah.
Nothing but a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's helping me out with everything. He knew almost more about the business than I did when I first started.
For real,
which was good, having an insurance guy like that. So
right. Well, you even said too, is, you were looking for the right insurance person. You're kind of struggling a little bit, and he came, and it was just like boom, done.
Had me done in an hour, like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah,
eh?
True professional.
Professional. So yeah, guys, I'll put that in the link, but it's roofinginsurance.com. Make sure you guys check them out if you guys need any help with your insurance.
Any contractor, he can help you out. He knows his stuff. So
he knows his stuff.
Been in it for a while, and my dad actually lives right next to him in Maricopa. He's
for real?
Yep. So
man,
he's out in Arizona.
He's out in Arizona, man. I checked out his pad, man. I might have to stop over there. He's got the pool going and stuff, dude.
Yeah. He was just
getting cold out here in Colorado, dude.
Yeah, he was just getting spray foam done today, getting ready for that winter there. That's only
what's the winter
75
there,
degrees.
75 degrees, right?
Yeah. What is it right now? Let's see.
It's getting cold, man. It's getting cold. I was just out in Detroit yesterday. It was cold and rainy, man. But shout out to Goods Roofing, man. Kelly Good. If you're watching, man, great time checking out the company there and seeing everything you got going on there, man. Great operation. But
39 degrees right now.
39 degrees right now, man.
Yeah, and I didn't bring a jacket. I ran straight from the parking spot. And if this show's late, it's because of me. But I came across town today.
Yeah.
So
we actually got connected through the show too.
Absolutely.
So you actually started watching the show because of Josh, and then we started getting connected from that.
Yep.
And, we kind of just grew a relationship and whatnot. We just seemed to get along and whatnot. I really liked what you were doing. I liked where you were at and what you're doing with your business. And, it just made sense to bring you on because, we're talking about start, build, and growing your contracting business on this show, right?
Yep.
So let's dive into your story. I know that you were working in the oil fields, right? And you didn't really have much time for your family. Wasn't that kind of the case?
Yeah, that was absolutely the case. I started back in 2011 and, I was grinding, working. I was working in North Dakota at that time.
Yeah.
Working, 16, 20-hour days for 2 weeks on, 1 week off. I'd see my family for that 1 week. But it would really be like 5 days with travel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, been doing that off and on till about 9 months ago. Decided, I wanted to do something else with my life and not miss my family's life anymore. So decided to take the plunge and do my own thing, and you got to be, committed 100%. It's been tough, but it's coming around. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. This still hustling, still doing other things to provide for my family at the same time. But absolutely, working on my company. So
yeah. Well, okay. So man, so you kind of knew what your why was. Your family was your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
You knew that you had to make more time for your family. You were sick of missing them and everything like that. How did you kind of make that jump, or like how did you go out? Because I know you actually acquired CreteJack here in Denver, Colorado. What was that process like, and how was making that jump? Because obviously, when you're having a family, they're your number one priority,
Correct.
right? So you're taking a risk when you're going on your own.
Oh, it's a huge risk.
What did that look like? I mean, what were you thinking? How did you go about it?
Yeah, so I was just working one of those 20-hour days, and you do a lot of shift work in the oil field. So I was working 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and had a little bit of downtime and just flipping through Facebook and the internet, and came across a cool video of lifting concrete. So checked that video out. Started thinking about it big time. I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool video. I think maybe I could do something like this for the rest of my life. So I checked it out a little more, researched it quite a bit on my weeks off of the oil field. I contacted local companies that did it around here. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And then talked to other people that do it in other states, and thought I could do it. So here I am 7 months later, and I've grinded hard, hustled hard, and it's finally coming around.
Nice. Well, it looks like Charles here is he's giving us a comment here. I don't know why I can't. I usually can pull him up. For some reason, it's giving me some issues. But it says, he said, I made the jump in May 2018, and I'm making it 2019. It is looking pumped. So he's pumped up for 2019. So how did you guys decide, Charles too? I mean, I'd be kind of curious how you started your journey. But with you, Andrew, why did you decide to go the route of acquiring a company rather than starting your own? What were the benefits of that? And then after the benefits, I'm going to kind of double that up with, what advice do you have for people that are looking to acquire a company? What to look for?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's huge benefits to acquiring a company. This one, CreteJack's been up and running for 2 years before I started it. So, you already had your clientele base. Marketing pretty much was already there. Those are huge things are going to be when you start a company. You start a company, within a day. But if you don't have the marketing to back it up, you're stalled.
Yeah.
Right.
So you already had that traction going, and that was kind of attractive to you.
Exactly. And, probably 2 months before I started the company, I kind of did my own handyman business too, at the same time. So, I was already, I had to have a little money before, I started the company. So, I had to start hustling before I actually started the company, to have money to run the company. Right. So, that's just, part of the business, that's one of the risks that you're going to take.
Yep. So then why CreteJack? What stood out to you with other companies that were there? How did you pick that industry specifically? And, was there anything that just like super stood out to you, like that they were doing well, or that was like, man, I cannot miss out this opportunity?
Right. So I was going to start a concrete lifting company regardless. It didn't matter if this company was for sale or not. I flew out to Vegas on a Wednesday for training.
Yeah.
The manufacturer that actually builds my equipment in a trailer. And, I flew out there on a Wednesday, flew back on a Friday, which is weird for Vegas. You usually go there for the weekends.
Right.
I went there for a training seminar, and, I was either going to put up the money to get the equipment and start the company myself, or, buy this company, which I didn't even know was for sale. I talked to some people that was taking the class with me, and this guy from Kansas said, "Oh, you might want to, call this guy. He's selling his whole business actually." So I was like, okay, yep. And
so the timing was right.
Yep. So
right place, right time.
Yep. So I got back that Saturday morning, called him, and bought the business by Monday.
And bought it on Monday. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, and what month was this? You said this was April?
Yep. It was in April.
Okay. So this is April, right? So what's been some wins, man, that you've had, and what's some losses? Like I said before, like, dude, we're all about the start, build, grow. We're all about trying to figure out how people can learn from your mistakes and can kind of take what you've won with and actually implement in their business. I know there's a lot of people out there. If you are somebody out there that's watching and you are in the construction or contracting industry and you want to start a business, throw comments out there. It's always good to get everybody engaging and trying to learn from each other, right? Because what we're trying to do here is just build a complete network of people that are in the same exact situation and trying to build a support system, right, to benefit from everybody. So, I mean, what's been some big wins for you, man? I mean, I know you had a big PR thing, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What was that? What was that about? How'd that set up? And
we're in
Denver.
Denver. We're in Denver right now, and that's the big city in Colorado, right? So, I set up a demo for the city of Denver, the historic district. Most people don't know, but when you plow your sidewalks, you're responsible for your sidewalk in front of your house, right? Well, that takes into account for the trip hazards that are there. So if your sidewalk's unlevel, it's got a 3/4 inch step on it from the expansion joint. So this is kind of hard to explain here. But so if you have a trip hazard on your sidewalk, you're responsible for it. So if somebody falls in front of your house, they're liable.
You're paying for it.
You're right. Okay. People don't know that.
You're liable.
You're liable for it. It's in front of your house. You are responsible to shovel it. You're responsible to maintain it. Right.
Yeah. So that's something you guys out there, if you're a homeowner in the Denver, Colorado area, definitely be thinking about that. How's it looking on your sidewalk? Because if it's messed up and somebody falls, right, you are liable.
Yep. And I mean, there's people out there like that. I'm not one of them, but you just got to watch responsibility for yourself.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself. So what happened with this though?
So pretty much it was, I did a job for a client, and she said she was going to have 200 people out, and I was like, okay, I'll do this, and kind of didn't believe her. I didn't think, she was going to get 200 people out here. And sure enough, she had city council. She had
everybody was there.
Everybody.
City council was there. How many people were there?
There was about 150. It was actually raining that day, so there wasn't a big turnout, like 200 people, but 150 people is a lot of people to be watching you.
And so you're doing a demo now.
Yep. So I'm doing demo.
And then how did this go? Where did the content go? And
you're right. So Channel 7 came. Yeah. They videotaped the whole thing. They had the historic district of Denver down there. Yeah. They did a big write-up on me. And pretty much 2 days later, it was on Channel 7.
On Channel 7 News?
Yep, on Channel 7 News.
And what did that do for your business?
Pretty much exploded overnight. I got, probably 30 phone calls the next day from it.
So now your only problem was you just had too much business, eh? Which is a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, but it's scary at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm to the point, where I need to hire people, and I've been doing this by myself. Hired a few subcontractors to help me, but I got to the next level now. So,
and if you guys are out there too, because this is an issue that we pretty much see on the regular. It doesn't even matter what industry it is, but especially in the contracting world, hiring, right? It seems to be like the scariest feat to hire somebody, and then you don't know when to do it, and then also now you have all this business, and once you do have all this business, you're like, well, I need more help.
And it is hard because if you're a contractor, it's a whole nother step. You're gonna have to pay taxes on the employee, right? You have to pay workman's comp. If you're a contractor, you have to pay workman's comp.
It's an investment, right?
It's investment. If you're in Texas and stuff, it's you don't have to do it. But in Colorado, it's a state where you have to have workman's compensation on your employees. If you're a contractor. So that's a whole nother level. It's like $3,000 to $4,000 is to start. To get workman's compensation.
Right.
Insurance. And that's a whole, another thing separate from your own insurance.
Yeah.
So.
And if you guys have had any success when you're looking at the hiring process, right? If you're looking at the onboarding, the training process that's worked really well for you, and it has shown a high return, invest in that, because, you can say it over and over again. The number one asset is people, right? So the more you invest in people, the better off you're going to be, but you have to make sure you're finding those right people. I do want to dive in here. We have a couple of things here. Charles has been great with engagement. Appreciate it, bud. But let's see what he says to say. He's kind of going to talk about his journey. So I've been in the trade since 2001. I'm a guy who was tired of making everyone else the money. Workmanship is the number one seller, but I'm just now getting into marketing 7 months after my business rep and my supplier is beyond disbelief and is pulling strings. I have some very strong friends I picked up through the conversations that can give me the advice I need. We have these live feeds that give great advice. Good businessman with the right experience will make it, my friend. Hey, really appreciate that, Charles, man. That's what we're all about here. Good luck with everything you're doing, man. And yeah, especially on the marketing side. I mean, the biggest thing when I'm looking at the marketing side, so that's kind of my area of specialties is I'm always looking at the website, right? And then depending on how competitive your market is, especially if you're looking at the roofing, if you're looking at 4,500 roofers in the Denver, Colorado, right? It's super competitive. So there's pages and pages and pages and pages, right? So there's a lot of people in the discussion when people there's a lot of people in that discussion, right? So you need to make sure that you at least are an option. So make sure you're investing in some kind of SEO. Make sure that you're building content around that. Reviews too. I think you see some companies that are amazing companies, but they don't put focus on Google, right? They'll have a bunch of surveys. They'll have all this information that's great that their customers will refer them, but yet they will not have those reviews on Google. If you have them on Facebook, that's great. But the place where people are making those purchasing decisions is going to be Google all day. So make sure you're doing that, right?
Yep. Google reviews are huge.
Yeah, man. And then content too, right? Yep. So for example, with Andrew, I mean, Andrew has a business where he needs to educate the client of what he's actually doing.
Educate the consumer.
Right?
Yep.
And I mean, roofers do too, right? You should be educating everybody, even though it might not be as complicated or as unknown as what Andrew's doing. You need to be educating your customer.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. So making those educational kind of videos, showing off your team, right? Showing off what you're all about, doing a video of a happy client, right? Any of that kind of stuff is going to go a long way because they might not follow you online, but they will search you online.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everybody looks at their phones now and everybody looks at the internet now.
Right.
I mean, nobody looks at the phone book anymore, right?
Exactly,
right.
Man. So if they're going to do the research, if you're spending that kind of money,
yeah.
I mean, what kind of money is it? If someone need to get it like work done by you, what does that look like?
Typical jobs between $1,000 and $1,500.
Right.
And it goes up from there. This really depends on the square footage that you need lifted.
Right.
Right. We do sidewalks, driveways, porches, walkways, patios, garage floors, basement floors.
Yeah. And what's like a more expensive job then?
It could be up to
$30,000. Yeah. So I mean, look at roofers too. There's in tens of thousands of dollars. If you're spending that kind of money, damn well I'm doing my research.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you research when you make a car purchase?
Yeah.
Right. It's the exact same thing if you're looking at it price wise.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's something to think about. We actually have a question now from Quentin. Appreciate it, Quentin. He says, I have a question about about a business being built. I've been pressure washing for about 6 months now. It's good money when I have clients, but the main question is, do you think it's a good idea to get a small business loan for a second work truck just in case the main one breaks down? Or should I just save up and get one later down the road, with only 1 week truck to carry the load of the business? What do you think about that, man?
Yeah. So I only have one unit right now, and that goes through my mind every day. If I break down, which I have, I was down for 3 days waiting on parts to fix my trailer and equipment, and I had to fumble jobs because I'm booked out a month right now.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
On that? Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. So if you have the jobs built up, a month in advance, I'd say go get that business loan. But if you don't have the jobs built up, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. Because that's
you almost have to have the money first, I think.
Right. That's
you have to have the people already lined up.
Exactly. That's a huge risk.
Right.
So you buy another piece of equipment and you have $1,000 a month that you got to pay on that loan. And if you don't make the extra $1,000 up, then you're screwed, right?
Well, it's sales first, right? So you make sure you actually have those deals in hand, right? Make sure you have those contracts. Make sure you have that, deposit or whatever you do with that. Make sure you already have that.
Yep.
So it's like I have this guarantee, right?
Yep.
Especially with change of seasons and stuff like that. I'm not sure where you're located, right? That's another thing to think about.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you're going to power wash in the winter when it's 30 below.
Right.
And
Unless he's in Arizona. Unless he's in Arizona.
Unless
right?
he's Arizona.
I don't know if they're going year round. I'm guessing they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So even with me, man, it's kind of a seasonal business. Me, I mean, I can do indoor slabs.
Yeah.
I can't do outdoor. So pretty much at the end of November, I'm shutting doors for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about going down to Arizona for a couple months.
Oh, he's out in Florida. That could possibly work if you have it lined up and it makes sense.
If you have the clientele and your numbers look pretty good for the next couple months, I'd say go for it.
At some point, you got to make the jump, though, too. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's a hard line, especially when you start in a company, because you don't have those hard numbers to look at, right?
Well, it's interesting. Like my buddy, actually, he was my boss. I used to work for Milwaukee Tool when I was fresh out of college, and he was my boss. He was always into construction and all this kind of stuff, and he's actually now make his jump on Friday, and he's quitting. Right. And I mean, at some point you got to put the chips and go bet on yourself.
Yeah. It's rolling dice, really. Right. But you got to be in the right mindset. So if you're not in the right mindset, everybody wants to start a business.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And they don't know the struggle. So you're going to go through your ups and downs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some really, really hard times when you're starting. And you're not even gonna want to wake up and answer the phone calls and stuff.
Yep.
And I've been there. But at the at the end of the day or in the morning, you just got to get yourself in the right mindset. Yep. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Any successful business owners gonna have the right mindset. Right?
Yeah. Well, and I'll say this too. My last job before I started my own thing, I just remember driving to work just like miserable and almost wishing. My rule is like once you wish that your drive to work was just a little bit longer, you probably should try something else and maybe just go for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So what about you guys too? This is gonna be towards Andrew, but this is pretty much just all about the startup mode, right? Because Andrew went from oil fields, not seeing his family, to just grinding and making it happen, right? So we're talking about the startup mode, and in the startup mode now with a lot of your contractors, depending where you're located, what are you guys doing in the wintertime to make sure that you're maximizing that time and just make sure that the lights aren't flickering, right? So what about you? Because I know you kind of are switching it up a little bit too with the wintertime. You're not able to do the services that you usually provide now, right? That kind of goes on pause.
Yep. So, I've always been handy with my hands. Yeah. So, right now it's getting slower and I've done all these lifting projects where I lift these people's garage floors and stuff, and their garage, if they're going to lift their garage floor and spend the $2,000 to $4,000 to lift it, right? They might as well get your garage finished. So I always threw that out to people. I'm going to be slowing down here in the wintertime, and I can come insulate your garage and throw some drywall up and make your garage look incredible. So that's actually what I'm doing this week. And, I've been grinding since 6 o'clock this morning and answering phone calls at the same time. I wake up about 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, start answering emails, and probably answer 15 to 30 calls a day. Just, fielding everything.
Wearing a million different hats, right?
Hats.
Barely sleeping, balancing work, life, everything, right?
Yep. But I take my weekends off, right?
Yeah. You shut it down completely in the weekends?
I'll maybe answer a few emails if I have to, but that's part of the reason I started business. So, I worked for 14 days straight. I grinded 20 hours a week in the oil field, or 20 hours a day in the oil field, and I didn't want to do that anymore.
So you really just took that hustle that you had and you just took it into
So I stayed with the same mindset because you got to, in the oil field, if you make one mistake, that could be your life, right? So I did the fracking part, and I was a pump operator, and one of my pumps blow, we're at 9,000 psi, pipes going pipes going all over the place, and lives are getting lost. So you got to be on your game the whole time when you're out in the oil field. Safety is a huge thing, and I've brought that with me to my company. Safety is number one.
That's awesome.
So
Well, we actually got another thing from Josh Conner finally over here gives a thumbs up, man. Our dude,
My man.
Hey, what
My
up,
man, Josh?
Yo, man. Thanks for hopping on, man. We're just giving you a big shout out, man. You missed it. You have to go back in time and check it out after this and watch the recap of us give you a big old testimonial, man.
Yeah.
Charles says, so we're going to talk about the wintertime stuff, right? So he says wintertime is marketing emergency phone calls. So he's shoveling snow for weight control in the roofing field. Gets the bids out as a contractor as well. So
yeah. So in the wintertime, I'm still taking phone calls every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bidding for next year. I already have $20,000 job that I'm doing in Nebraska next year.
In Nebraska too.
In January.
So you can go to different
Well,
states,
I had a company call me from Nebraska and said they couldn't get anybody to come out there. And I was like,
really?
I'll take it on. So
that's what's up.
yeah, I mean, that's revenue right off the bat for next year, right?
So I guess that kind of goes back into, okay, so we're it's been pretty much nonstop, right? And then it kind of hits like this time of November, early November.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's thinking holidays. Everybody's thinking, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They're thinking about wrapping everything up. They're looking at their numbers and kind of seeing what they're doing and how they did and everything like that. Not a ton going on for no matter what business it seems like. Everybody slows down a little bit.
Well, yeah. There's interior work, so I'm cold right now, so I'm moving indoors.
So what about for prepping for next year though? So you got this job in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
You guys out there, what are you guys doing to prep for next year? How are you guys maximizing this time to make sure that you're rolling this last 2 months into a successful 2019, right? Best way to start winning next year is not to start January 1, start now. So what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm looking at my numbers. It's all about numbers for me.
Yeah.
So, I'm going back and, looking at what my average was for each job.
Yeah.
Looking, how I can maximize my profit, right? So just going back on the year, looking at everything I did and how I can adjust it to make it better.
Yeah. Are you pretty dialed in with your numbers right now too? Because I know sometimes with the newer businesses, some people aren't super focused on that. Has that been a high priority since day one?
It has.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can see doing a successful business is looking at your numbers, right?
Right.
You got to see where you're at.
Yeah.
You could be doing a lot of work, but then you're spending all your money on materials and all that, and then it's just going all the way, right? So you got to look at your profit margin.
Yeah.
That's huge for me. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, that's the bottom line number that I look at is my profit margin.
Yep.
So,
okay, cool.
I mean, you can charge so much for a job, right? But if you're spending $2,000 on material and then you're only making $200 at the end of the day, well, why is he worth
There's not much there, right? Yeah. There's not much there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So what would be your biggest takeaway then as a new business owner? So let's say I just bought a company just today.
Right.
I'm super pumped up. I'm ready for this journey. I'm a hard worker.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take more than hard work at the end of the day. You gotta know how to talk to people. Yeah. Especially with me, I'm working with homeowners every day. Yeah. Commercial too, but mostly homeowners. And you got to know how to, talk to people. You got to know how to sell yourself. You got to know how to sell your business. Sales,
right? Sales is action in the business.
Yep.
So no matter how good you are, how hardworking you are, no matter how good you are at the trade,
right?
You can make sure that sales is dialed in.
You can be so excited to start your business, but until you get to your first client's house, and they could be your worst customer. Yeah. I mean,
that's another part of it too, is identifying who's your customer. Right. Because in the beginning, you want deals and deals and deals and deals, right? Yep. But then what happens is you're so desperate for deals that you get all the worst deals, right? That like nobody else wanted.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. And don't sell yourself short, man.
Yeah, seriously.
I got other bigger companies and smaller companies, and the bigger companies have more overhead than I do, so they're charging a little bit more than I do. But I'm trying to stay competitive, and there's a couple guys that this guy in the business, they undercut me on every job. Yep. So it's not selling yourself short, man. I don't sell my job short.
That's a great point.
So I'm selling to the customer, value. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to sell you, my service, right? So at the end of the day, don't sell yourself short.
I think that's one. Like we can almost make a list of growing pains, guys. If you guys have a growing pain that sticks out to you when you're starting a business, like your biggest pain points, type it in. Let us know. That's what we're all about, right? Because you guys said don't sell yourself short. I think a lot of people.
I think they do, especially when you start. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know everybody sells their self short when they're starting a business because they don't know where to start.
Yeah, pricing is tough, right?
Price is tough. Tough. I mean, biggest thing I tell a new company to biggest advice is to pretty much know your market. So when I first started out, I got all the other companies that do what I do, right?
Yeah.
To come to a friend's house, and they all bidded on the same piece of concrete to lift. So I knew where my market was before I started. So I wanted to be right in that range. Nice. I wanted to be a little lower because I was just starting. I wanted to get business, right?
Right.
So, about halfway, about four months through, I started raising my price a little bit just to see where it was going. And, it's taking baby steps at first. Baby steps turn into big steps, right?
Yeah.
So just take your baby steps. And then once they go bigger, your baby steps turn into to the big picture.
And it's like know your value when you're going out there. Know your value. If you believe that you are truly skilled at what you're doing and that you have value to offer to this customer, do not be afraid to go in there confident, right? Because that's a
confidence is huge,
right? Go in there.
Yeah, confident. If you're not confident, they're going to see it.
Yeah,
they're going to see what you're saying, you, right?
Yeah, know what you're saying, know what you're talking about. Go in there confident, and when you say your price, be confident about it. Right. Yep. And as soon as you start, like you said, undervaluing what you're doing, and you're just like that person that is like the lowest price point or whatever, now you're making $0. You're not making any money. The people that are just undercutting people in the business and stuff like that usually are not making any money.
Right.
So that's not going to last long. You don't want to be that guy. Right. Get good clients, get good business, get the reviews online, right? Get the referrals, have a referral program in place, right? So if you get a good client, I always like to rate clients, right, by like A, B, and C, right? Based off of how, what you can provide to them. Just like, you have your ideal client. If they're your ideal client and they're an A, ask that person, the A client, for referrals. Right? Because chances are they probably hang out with other A clients. So make sure you maximize each client, right? Each opportunity that you have. And just make sure that you're refining your pitch, refining everything that you're doing, but do not downgrade who you are and undervalue what you do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about the confidence in yourself.
So what are the goals, man? I mean, it seems to you guys, if you guys have any big goals, I don't care if it's percentage of growth. I don't care whatever it might be. It might be hiring somebody. What are your guys' goals? I mean, this is the time that we have to start reflecting. It's like I said, it's not January 1. It's now, especially those in the startup phase, right? They're trying to build this thing out. What are your guys' goals? Because if you don't have a target, you're not going to get there. What are the goals, man?
Definitely have a business plan before you start. Have something in place, have goals. Hit those goals. And then once you get to those goals, start new ones, because I already hit my goals. So I'm starting new ones next year. I'm hiring 3 to 4 people. Maybe having a couple family members come in from out of town to, handle phone calls and stuff like that.
Where are they coming from?
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Dang, they must love you or something. Right?
Well, they're originally from Colorado. So,
are they?
Yeah. Anybody that's lived here probably always wants to move back.
So what other goals? So you have goals of hiring? Do you have a percentage of growth you're trying to hit, or like how do you kind of identify?
Hiring, percentage of growth, revenue. It's already doubled, but maybe triple it next year. Maybe numbers are already showing good, so probably buying another unit. As far as the equipment goes, adding adding lead, adding a couple helpers, and then add another unit, and then with another unit I can hire.
The customer's already there.
The customer base is there. I mean, but definitely in Colorado, there's expansive soil. There's a huge market for this. For this business, and there's not many companies out there that do it. So it's just like it's slab jacking. It's like mud jacking, but it's polyurethane foam. So there's
I'm gonna put your link
too. I'm
gonna put your link in here too.
3 or 4 other companies out here in Colorado. So it's not like there's a million handyman like there is in Colorado or roofing companies, right? There's not much. There is competition, but not much, right?
So. Well, you know, that's the thing. So Charles, hey, I think Charles, you got to be the all-star for the day, man. We really appreciate the engagement. He says, you know, being competitive is difficult. Behind competitive is difficult. Set your price, never take a loss. So be competitive and never take a loss. Plenty of work out there.
Yep.
Right. And that's the case. Don't be chasing. Don't be giving up everything. Right. Show off.
Right. Because at the end of the day, you're just gonna, you know, go home mad.
Yep. Exactly.
And you're gonna see your bank account go, and then your business is gonna fail because you're not making profit.
And I don't know about you, but it always seems like, to me at least, you know, I'm in a different world, but the clients that you have to like chase is never worth it. Right.
Yep.
There's a reason why you're chasing them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's probably not meant to be.
Right. And then
move on.
Right.
More fish in the sea.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy right there.
What's up, Joshua, man? Thanks for the thumbs up, man. Appreciate it. But well, you know, we'll start to kind of wrap things up here. But what you know, let's kind of end it on something that you think you can leave them with a key takeaway to implement in their business, right? So let's think about the startup person, maybe the person that just bought their business, maybe somebody that's in 6 months. You know, if you were going to give them a little bit of wisdom, sprinkle a little wisdom that you've gotten over this last year here of actual experience as a business owner, what do you want to leave them with and make sure that they can implement that?
Yeah, just you know, keep your mind straight. There's going to be up and downs, and don't let the downs get you. You know, when you get your highs, you know, focus on that. Don't focus on, you know, the downside of things, because it's going to happen with
especially
the new business.
in the beginning. You know, I think you nailed it there, man. Is because I used to get so high in the highs, and then with the lows, man, I would have
really low too.
I would get so low that I would get no work done the entire day.
Yeah,
just nothing.
Right. And that's the mindset, and you got to get past that if you're going to go somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
I'm still there sometimes, but I clicked my finger and I was like,
it's got to get
change your mindset.
Short memory, man. Like that Men in Black thing. You know what I'm talking about? That stick that they have, the Will Smith.
Right.
You know,
take a deep breath. And change your direction. Or you know, like we were talking about a month ago. You know, sometimes I have to go to the gym and work out to get my mindset right. Right. I gotta clear my mind and start over. But I'm a hustler, so I keep on moving. Just keep your mind straight.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, man, too. I saw the lunch thing, man. Hey, let me know, man. I'm gonna be out there about every 6 weeks now. So we'll be in touch, man. Let's connect. If we're not Facebook friends now, it's Nick Brett. Let's make sure we're doing that. But yeah, man, dude. But that was pretty much the best way. I think that was the best ending, especially when we're talking about the starting phase today. Is just have a short memory. Don't get too high. Don't get too low, because it is going to be a roller coaster of emotions. That's going to be all over, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes. But you just keep chipping.
Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's huge. Don't be afraid, because they're going to happen.
They're going to happen. 100%.
Yeah, but you're going to learn from them. And when you learn from your mistakes, I mean, that's the 100% advice right there. Learn from your mistakes. Don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, don't make the same mistake twice, right? So, well, hey, Andrew, man, it's been awesome having you guys. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna put his URL in the comments. CreteJack, man, he's doing some awesome stuff. Like I said, he's just on Denver 7 News, getting a lot of PR from that. And he's doing a lot of good things. So if you guys have any interest in learning more about that industry too, I'm sure you'd be more than welcome to, have a quick convo with you guys and stuff like that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I network with guys that do the same thing in other states.
Yeah.
And they've helped me out tremendously along the way, because lifting concrete is not easy. It seems like it's easy, but there's a lot of variables. It's like a wall. You don't know what's behind the wall. You don't know what's under the concrete.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Hey, I appreciate it so much, man. Guys, this is episode 35 of the Start Build Grow Show. We go live every Wednesday at 6:30 Mountain Time. We have some awesome guests coming up here. We'll kind of get that out here shortly, but we got some big time players, especially in the roofing industry, coming up. It'll be a little bit off just with the holidays and whatnot, but we want to make sure we're getting as engagement as possible. So if you guys have any topics you guys want to discuss too, make sure you guys are hitting us up, sending us a DM or whatever it might be. And again, thank you guys, Job Nimbus, Josh Cotner with roofinginsurance.com, so much for your support and allowing us to get the message out to you guys. Thank you so much.
If you ever need insurance, definitely contact that dude.
Josh Cotner, man.
Yeah, he'll be on your side.